Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I bring you another R7 video, and this time it's one I've been waiting to do for a while. It's first impressions with the R7 shooting motorsport, and yeah, I will be doing more videos on this with the stuff I do later in the season, but today is solely a first impressions. I have not done anything with it to do with motorsport yet, or vehicle tracking, so very excited to try that out, and hopefully it lives up to all the expectations, as there is no videos out there to do with this. All I've seen is that it can take the photos I need, so that's what we're testing today, and I'm going to bring you all along and vlog the whole thing so that any other motorsport photographers out there who want to use this camera for this kind of have a better idea, because I have no idea.
You say that everything is okay, cause you're coming back, you're coming my way. You don't know if you're here to stay, but you're coming down, you're coming down.
So I've just tested out the photos on vehicle tracking for panning and the video mode, and it's working so good. The autofocus changes as I want it to, and yeah, the photos look very promising. Obviously, it's going to take a bit more time to get used to, and the smaller lens I brought with me will need a monopod on it to get like very clean shots if I don't really speed up the shutter speed. But so far it's very promising, and has like put some of my stresses to sleep about it, because I was very much stressing that it wouldn't do what I wanted it to. But so far so good, and the 5D could never do what this is doing, so all's looking very promising.
The golden clouds in the sunset sky, you turned the page and made it alright.
So with having played around with this a bit up by the bus stop here at Mallory, I'm now coming over to the S's, I think it's the S's anyway, from the inside of the track to try and give that a go and try some panning. But yeah, it's a lovely day, very cold, and so far, as I say, this camera is living up to expectation. There are a few little tweaks I have to bear in mind in terms of the fact that, like, if you're trying to do quick succession focusing, vehicle tracking isn't what you want to use, but then if you're panning, vehicle tracking is what I like to use, I think I'm finding. But yeah, it's just kind of playing around and tweaking it, but so far, so good.
Take time, how long till I get you? Good things take time, you said it do, but if good things take time, how long till I get you? Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. You say that everything is okay when you bring your colors and take away the gray. You told me you might come my way, and it's never the same without you in my day. Like golden clouds in the sunset sky, you turned the page and made it alright. The amber lights were on in my life, but you took them, you took them. You say that good things take time, and so they do, but if good things take time, how long till I get you? Good things take time.
So, back home now, and the next job is to get the photos off of the camera onto my computer, and to like just double check how in focus they are and how it went, really, to like be able to properly sum up how the day went, because they can look good in here, but until you've properly looked at them on your computer, who knows, because that's a bigger screen, and that, yeah, it's just a bigger screen, so you'll be able to see clearer if there are any problems with the photos. But hopefully there shouldn't. It looked promising, so let's have a look.
You say they do, but if good things take time, how long till I get you?
I've now just got all the photos on my card, have finished copying across to my hard drive, so I'm now just gonna go through and take a look at like the keep delete ratio and like delete the bad ones and look at, yeah, just see how it went really. It's my first time using it, doing motorsport, and yeah, it's a lot more intuitive than the 5D is, as it's like 5D is digital, but like the screen and autofocus on this is a lot more intuitive and just quicker than the 5D, so it's taken a while to get used to it, but yeah, I love it, and from what I saw in camera it looks good and looks very promising. So I'll get back once I have gone through these photos.
You say you got something to say, but you keep it instead for a rainy day. You say you got something to say, and it's worth the wait. It's worth the wait. Yeah.
I've just finished going through the photos and I've slung a bit of an edit on some of them through Lightroom just to see how they crop down and how they edit and how my preset looks on them, and I'm happy. Like, I'm not necessarily as blown away as I thought I'd be, but it's promising, and I think it's much because I only had about 2 hours, not even, to do this, as we just popped down for like a brief time and I took my camera. But from the ones I've edited, I definitely like them, and I think I definitely had more keepers than I do with the 5D, but there are a couple of factors that I think played into why my keep rate wasn't as high as it could have been, and it's purely because I was experimenting around and tweaking things. So the first is that to begin with, I was shooting, well, about the first 5 photos I shot, I forgot I was still in the electronic first curtain shutter, and that I was still shooting in RAW and on a low shutter continuous rate. So by the time I tweaked that to JPEG and to a high continuous shutter, it worked a lot better and was a lot quicker, especially, and then the photos got a lot cleaner as I upped my shutter speed a little bit, as I, for some sort of reason, was shooting on like 1/60th. No, 1/160th. 1/60th would be ridiculous. But by the time I upped it, it was better, as it's been a long winter, so I completely forgot kind of the range shutter speed to shoot between for these. But by the time I tweaked that, everything was good. And then about the next, I want to say 100 photos maybe, I tried out my old Sigma lens, which is my 70-300, and I tried that handheld, as my monopod mount lives on this lens, not on the camera. So that was, those were a bit shaky at the shutter speed I was trying to pan at, and as a result a lot of those got deleted, so that took out a load more that I could have kept if I'd shot on a monopod, which I will do next time. I tried some panning later on, and I tried to pan at like 1 1/200ths, and it creates a lovely pan, but it was struggling to pick up bikes, well, not pick them up, but like focus on them, because it was like where I was panning at and trying to like flick back to the bikes that were then coming next after the ones had gone. That was a bit shaky, but then I upped it to 1/320th, and that improved it a lot. And I also took it off vehicle AF focus, and switched it onto just like focusing anywhere, and that seemed to work a lot better, and it definitely picked up the bike a bit more. But for a first time out with these, I'm very happy. and it did a much better job than the 5D Mark III would have done. But yeah, as I say, it's just trial and error, and I'm very happy with it, and it's very promising. It's just a case of getting used to it and just shooting loads on it. So yeah, I've got another date in mind where I'm going to be testing it out properly, and well, where I'm going to be using it properly and shooting continuously with it, and I know where I'm shooting in these places, and I know how I should be shooting and the settings I should be shooting at on these. So yeah, it's a track that I definitely go to a lot more. Mallory I don't go to as much, and it was kind of just me trying to play around with every single setting I could. So the vehicle tracking mode, and then trying out different AF settings, trying to shoot on a lower one, trying out the video settings. It was just a whole day of testing and trying different things. So a lot of the photos I've got I'm really happy with. It's just, yeah, those minor things that led to a low keep delete, just because I was testing everything I could. Because I know you can shoot motorsport well on these, as I've seen the test photos from Canon that have shot these with pans that look incredible, and I've seen several people on YouTube shoot like basketball games and sport with the R7, so I know it's capable of it, and I've seen someone shoot like a motocross race with it as well, so I know it's definitely capable of it. It's just a lot more intuitive than I'm used to with the 5D Mark III, so it's just a case of getting used to it basically and getting familiar with it. The autofocus is definitely a lot quicker, and yeah, it's just playing around with it and getting used to it, and that is all it is. But today has helped, as I know a rough idea of what settings I should be shooting, and yeah, I'm definitely pleased I had this before I go into my next one. Otherwise the stress levels would have been very high, as I would never have tried it with anything before going into working with it. So today's, we'll call it a shakedown. So with the shakedown complete, that is it for this video. And if you have any questions or any comments about how the R7 performed with Motorsport, or anything you'd like me to try next with it, just leave them in the comments, and I will be happy to answer them and try and respond to them. But other than that, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you don't miss anything, as with the season starting back, I am going to be trying to do a lot more, and I have got a couple of other R7 videos I want to try and shoot before that all kicks off. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope this video helped anybody who's looking to get the R7 for motorsport stuff, as I know I definitely couldn't find any video content to do with it when I was looking. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. You say that good